welcome into your Talking Fitchburg show for today. It's Tuesday, March 23rd. I'm Andrew Banlett. Hopefully you all had a great day. I'm filling in for Jeremy Crosby today, doing the show, and we have a very busy one, so we're going to get right into it today. We'll have some headlines, of course, and then we're going to replay the Dane by Local business update. We have Colin on the show, and show a replay of that we showed last week. With that interview. And then we'll also be talking with Tiffany from the Better Business Bureau here in southern Wisconsin about the top complaints of 2020. So that'll be a good one to listen to as well. So be ready for that. But we are going to get right into it, as I do have a short amount of time for headlines. So we're going to talk first about MG&E deferred payment agreement for residential customers. Have you fallen behind on your MG&E bill and cannot pay in full by the due date? MG&E is here to help. A deferred payment agreement, a DPA, is a plan that you can pay your current bill and a portion of the past due bills each month until you're caught up. MG&E customer service team will work with you to create a personalized payment agreement. Your ability to pay something now, even if minimal, will help you avoid further collection action and or potential late payment fees. So go ahead and call MG&E at 608-252-7144 between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Friday to set up your personalized agreement. For more information, please visit mgne.com. Also, if you are having issues scheduling your COVID vaccination, right here at the Fitchburg Senior Center, nursing students from Edgewood College are available on Thursdays to private assistance over the phone, via Zoom, or face-to-face with scheduling your COVID vaccination. So you can go ahead and give the call to the Fitchburg Senior Center at 270-4290 to request help. Transportation for vaccination appointment available through Newbridge as well. So go ahead and give a call down. Again, that's on Thursdays. We have nursing staff here from Edgewood College to be able to help you with some scheduling for those vaccinations. Also eligible coming up here starting on the 22nd, which was yesterday, are a whole bunch of new individuals with medical conditions to get their vaccination and be eligible to sign up for this, which including cancer, diabetes, heart disease, pregnancy, and others becoming eligible for the vaccine. If you are eligible for the vaccine, you may be vaccinated through your employer, healthcare provider, or local pharmacy, a mass vaccination clinic, or through us, which is the Public Health Madison and Dane County. Again, you will have that link on our Facebook page later today to get you signed up and to look at all those details. And that's going to do it for me today for headlines. Coming up next, we're going to sit down with Colin again on a replay of the Dane by Local business update. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Dane by Local, it's Colin Murray. Colin, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Jeremy. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for joining me again here. We're glad to have you on the show. And I've asked you to come back on the show to give us kind of an update from the businesses that are part of Dane by Local organization, kind of help us understand what's taken place in the last year. Your organization has been very instrumental in helping out. We had you back way early on when there was some funds to be distributed to businesses and whatnot. So first and foremost, first, Colin, given where we are today, how are businesses doing out there in Dane County?
So it's definitely a challenge. Depending upon the segment of business that we're talking about, some are more impacted than others, but it's definitely a concern. These businesses have worked so hard to get the doors open, to try to keep things headed in the right direction, and now they're slapped with a pandemic, right? And it's not any fault of their own. There's nothing they could have done to avoid it. It just is what it is. I was talking to a business owner just the other day. She had this dream of opening her own nail salon for 32 years, and she finally 2 years ago was able to make that dream a reality and open the doors. And now she's got a pandemic in her lap. And it's just everything she's trying to do to keep the doors open and trying to stay alive as far as her business is concerned. But she's hanging in there. She's a fighter. And that's what I love about local businesses. These entrepreneurs are so dedicated to their efforts and trying to make it work. And they're scrapping around any way they can to put all the pieces together. So you really got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, you do. And, you've seen a lot of creative thinking when it comes to the average business. Maybe share some of the circumstances. We heard nationally where some restaurants turned into grocery stores and offered, pieces. We've seen a big significant increase in drive-up services and that sort of thing. Do you have any stories out there of some of the businesses that have adapted, I guess, to the new normal? I hate to use that word, but, at least to handle this pandemic.
Yeah, that's what it is. Some of the more visible ones that are more common out there is the curbside pickup or providing delivery where they didn't perhaps in the past. One of the things that I've seen a lot is people really stepping up the efforts on their website. So, most businesses have had a website. That's pretty common, but a lot of these businesses didn't have e-commerce, and that's a problem. You really need to have that on your website these days to be able to transact business and keep it safe. And especially for restaurants or retail, that's really important. So a lot of restaurants or a lot of businesses have made that adjustment so that they're able to transact business online. And that's one of the things that we've encouraged. So for all of our members, if they have e-commerce, we have a page right on our homepage there. It's called Marketplace that you can go to and find all of these different businesses that have e-commerce. So you can shop on your computer and still be local. You don't have to go to the Amazon website anymore. You can do it locally, keep the dollars here, but still do it safely through the convenience of your computer and set up a delivery either for pickup, curbside pickup, or have it delivered to your home or office, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that makes, and it's been a huge difference. I mean, yeah, you're right. There's places that never ever had the ability to make orders online, whatever their product or service was. So yeah, I can totally understand that that's definitely an avenue to go. As far as looking a little bit deeper into the long-term impact of specifically restaurants and in retail too, probably is going to, pending retail, but in the restaurant industry, as things slowly open up, people get vaccinated. Where do you think those restaurants, or how long the impacts are going to last? And it's something we talked about actually recently on a different interview, but I think it was good information to share that the impact's going to be long-standing.
Yeah, things are loosening up at the moment. Hopefully they'll continue to trend in that direction. With the vaccine coming out, these are all good signs. We're heading in the right place here, but it's going to take a while to get us back to some sort of level of normalcy. Hopefully by this fall, things will be somewhat back to normal. We can function again and have some of these events, and the restaurants can do their thing again like they've been accustomed to. But it's going to take a while to get back to where they were before. It well into next year before they're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel financially. They particularly restaurants have been hit hard, really hard. And boy, you got to give them a lot of credit for being able to hang in there and we're all doing what we can to help support them, but it's tough, so it's going to take a while to get there, but they're diligent about it, that's for sure.
Going back to distributing, you guys have done a great job at taking some money and distributing it throughout Dane County, maybe further, I'm not sure. But I guess looking back at that process, Colin, for businesses that needed it and received it, what was the response and people who were awarded funds?
Yeah, so that money came through the county. It was CARES Act dollars from the federal government that was sent to the Dane County itself. And Dane County identified 3 different areas that they wanted to support, that being food, housing, and small businesses. So we came under the small business heading there. So Dane County provided us $10.8 million to send out in the form of grants to small businesses. So we were able to help just about 2,700 local businesses in Dane County that we provided a grant to them to help them keep on going. And again, it wasn't that our grant was going to solve their problem, but it didn't. It was a Band-Aid. So that was definitely appreciated. We heard that over and over and over, that we were able to help businesses out. Over 90% of the businesses that applied for a grant by the deadline did receive funds in Dane County. So we were proud to see that happen. But that was last summer, and a lot has happened since then. So the Dane County Executive, Joe Parisi, did find a few extra dollars at the end of the year, about $4 million. So we were able to do a second round of grants. This next round of grants is about 400 businesses that will be able to help out. So not nearly as impactful as the first round, but at least it's something. So we're working on that right now. And as you may have heard, the federal government is working on another round of stimulus package. And as long as the state and local government dollars stay in there, it looks like we may get a third round of grant dollars coming, maybe mid-April, depending on how things go. You never quite know in Washington. But
Right.
that's the indication at this point that we will be able to see a third round and be able to help out these businesses once again. So that's where we're at right at the moment as far as the grant funds are concerned.
No, I appreciate breaking it down and helping people understand how that process works. And for small businesses, and you can contest to this, every dollar counts, no matter whether they're still trying to get a new customer or are keeping what they're doing. And that, what you guys are doing at Dane Buy Local, is awesome. My final question for you, Colin, would be, as we look ahead here, in the future, and I know you don't have your crystal ball out today, but where do you think we'll be, or what can people do to get involved and help all our local businesses to help survive through this pandemic?
Yeah, so so a couple of things come to mind. One is because of these grant programs that the county is providing, I think our percentage of loss of small businesses is going to be pretty low. So far, I know of 12 businesses members that have shut down because of the pandemic. So that's, in the big picture, not too bad. For those 12, it's very, very painful. But there were predictions of 20, 30, 40% of the businesses going away, and it looks like in Dane County, we're not going to have that happen here. So that's a good thing, and that's a direct result of that grant program. So that's definitely great. So for the general public, though, we need to continue to support these local businesses. And I know it's easy to just jump online and order from Amazon or Target or Walmart or wherever, and that's fine. We don't want people to feel guilty about doing that, but give these local businesses a shot. Give them a chance. See if they can come through and provide stuff for you. That's what makes Dane County unique. are all these local businesses. And when we win these awards, these national awards, recognizing what makes us so special here, it's not because we have the biggest Target in the country, or that we have a special Walmart or whatever the case might be. It's the local businesses that make us unique, make us different, and that's what we need to hang on to. And so we're working hard at Dane Buy Local to make sure that happens. But we need the general public to do the same. You need to support these local businesses and do everything we can to keep them open and thriving.
Yeah, well said, Colin. Thank you so much for your time on going through this, and hopefully we can get you back on the show down the road and keep talking about success stories here moving forward. Colin, again, thank you. And well, if people want to learn more about Dane Buy Local, where can they find you at?
Yep, that would be our website, danebuylocal.com. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. And yeah, hit up the website and definitely shop local. It's more important than you even know. All right, we'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Join me today from the Better Business Bureau right here in Southern Wisconsin. It's Tiffany Schultz. Tiffany, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you for being back. And we're talking top scams of 2020. Very excited to get to this because it's everything that you've talked about all year long. So we kind of get to go back and look at and see where these scammers are getting people more or less, and find out some of the numbers on that, which is just devastating. And it'd be interesting. There'll be studies done on COVID-19 and losses compared, but overall, break it down. What do we got on the top 10 scams of 2020?
Well, the top 10 scams, it's really no surprise. Online purchase scams has gone to the top, and that is directly COVID related. And when I say online purchase scams, it's all of those fake websites that are popping up that people are ordering items from. 46% of people were ordering more online during COVID, and over 50% we're actually ordering versus shopping. So it's an incredible amount of money, and scammers have taken advantage of that opportunity, and they were throwing up fake websites for those PPE items that we needed, and those cleaning supplies, and those items that couldn't be found in stores, or items that people didn't want to go out to the physical store to get during COVID. So scammers really took advantage of that pandemic, and they did, unfortunately, rise online purchase scams right to the top of all of the scams taking place in the marketplace.
Man, it's hard to believe, but yet you're right. It's really something to believe. I've shared the story many times that I tried to buy a pool, too good to be true purchase. Turned out it was a fake website that took you somewhere beyond, and I'm lucky that I caught it early enough. But it's just that easy. And I listen to these. We do these talks all the time, and I just feel like shame on me. But let's talk about the average loss in the age group, because I think there's a lot of thought. Oh, mom and dad, grandpa and they're the ones who are getting scammed. It's not our age.
And it's always been like that, where the senior citizens have lost the most money in scams. And I'm here to tell you today that the 18 to 24-year-old age group is losing just as much money as senior citizens at $150 per occurrence, where the average loss amongst all age groups is $115 an occurrence. So that's 30% more that those two age groups are losing to scams than anybody else.
Yeah, so you just can't assume that it's not going to happen to you. It's everywhere, and if you take the bait, just if you take the bait, I guess more or less, you might be out of money, but certainly identity theft and so many other things related to this. How about the scams tracker report too? Seeing the increase overall from 2019.
If you haven't used our scam tracker tool, it's a great tool, bbb.org/scam tracker. On Scam Tracker, you can look up the scams that are taking place in your area. It's a real-time heat map, so it's super cool to use. You can also report a scam to us. And the number of reports that came in the bbb.org/scam tracker were up 25% in 2020 compared to 2019. We received over 46,000 scams to that scam tracker tool. So scams are up in the marketplace, scammers are taking advantage of people, and consumer education in this, industry is extremely important.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad people are reporting it. When we started doing the newscast years ago, I can't tell you that I knew that you even should report these things, let alone where you could do it. And knowing that BBB is out there and the state too dealing with these things. Definitely can help lead to arrests and cutting back on these scams or learning about how we can stop these. So that's part of it. Turning our attention to the second on the list, employment, which just really blows me away that has jumped up so high. Tell us about the employment scams.
Employment scams have always been in the top 5. This year, it rose to number 2. And part of that was due to COVID. People were unemployed. They've lost their jobs, looking for new jobs, and scammers have taken advantage of that. So a few ways that people get caught in employment scams is they answer an ad on a third-party website that's for a fake position. A lot of times they have inflated salaries. You can do administrative work or customer service work or even packaging and delivery, and you can make a full-time salary for part-time work. It sounds too good to be true. It probably is too good to be true. Other times, people start working for a real company and they don't get their paychecks. They provide personal information through new hire paperwork, and a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, they do the work, but they never get paid. And when they reach out, the scammer is gone. So people do fall into these traps, and scammers are very sophisticated. It's easy to fall into these traps. So you really need to watch out for what you're applying for and who you're talking to.
Yeah, I'm thinking you always think of the work at home or from home. I mean, before pre-COVID, that was almost sounding too good to be true. Now it's not as, doesn't seem like that because of the stay-at-home orders that have been in place on and off through this pandemic. So it does make sense that it definitely drove up or rose up this year. To conclude, I want to end on the top scam, the number one scam that BBB saw and reported in 2020. It may surprise you.
Online purchase scams, those fake websites that are out there. Be very, very careful when you're ordering online. Make sure it's a real website. A real website is always going to start with HTTPS, not HTTP. So look for that S in the website address. Also look for the little lock symbol up in your search browser. You want to look for full contact information as well. So on the website contact us page, it should have the name of the company, the address, the phone number, the email address, not just a form for you to fill out because you don't know where it goes. Google that address. Make sure it goes to a real place of business, not an empty field or a UPS store. Sometimes the scammers even get tricky and they'll change a 5 into an E or an S. And you think that you have the right address, but you really don't. So you really need to pay attention. You want to look for spelling and grammatical errors. Make sure that the language is of a professional website. And you also want to look for a privacy policy. What are they doing with your personal information?
Absolutely. Does it surprise you that the 38% of the scams reported were pet and PPE related online purchases from what was reported?
Not at all. People were at home. They had more time for pets. they were buying puppies online, puppies that didn't exist, puppy food, puppy crates. Some of those scams that fell into that online purchase scams where they had to pay an additional COVID fee to get a puppy shipped to them. So that category is still pretty active, as well as the PPE, things that we couldn't find in stores or we didn't want to go out to stores to purchase.
Well, and I would still throw it out there too. It seems, and maybe it'll be a topic we should discuss later on, but definitely in the mask world with the N95s, really verifying that they are real N95s I think, becoming an interesting development and something that I would want to follow up down the road with you for sure, because I think you're right. It was hard to get PPE at one point, but now how accurate is that PPE now that it's flooded the market?
That, and you need to watch for counterfeit products when you buy it online too. So you may be purchasing from a legitimate website, but the products on it are counterfeit. So really watch out for those items that we have talked about. Jerseys are another one, shoes, jewelry, cosmetics. Yeti is a big brand that's counterfeited as well. So, just because you order something from a website and let's say it's a Yeti and it's shipped to you and you're like, yeah, it's a knockoff, big deal. It is a big deal because the rights have been stolen for that product. We want to know about it. Report it to us so we can talk about it on here and let other consumers know not to shop there.
Yeah, you do. When we talk, the topics that you do poll, I mean, a lot of times do come from reports and different things that are spiking. So very important that you do report these things. And as we saw from this past year, you've done a great job of reporting out there the audience of Talking Fitchburg and beyond. So Tiffany, thank you so much for sharing great information. The full report is up on the BBB's website, so you can check this out in depth. It's very interesting, and it just gives you just kind of an eye into where we're getting scanned and where we need to do some work. Tiffany, any other info to share today with us?
That full report does include the full top 10 scams as well. So if you're interested in learning more, we have that all available at the click of a button on bbb.org.
Perfect. Tiffany, thank you so much for your help this month. We'll see you back next month.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Tiffany Schultz, BBB here in Southern Wisconsin. Appreciate her time in passing on all this information. We try to get it out to you as fast as she sends it to us. So we appreciate her and everybody at BBB. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. Ready! That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. I want to thank Tiffany for joining us today and giving us those top 10 complaints through BBB. We'll have that and, of course, headlines posted today on our Facebook page and YouTube page if you would like to replay those. And, of course, all the stories from headlines will be there and those links available for you. That's going to do it for us today. Again, contact us, join us. We are everywhere, as you can see on this graphic, and have a safe night.